Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Michael Ayala, out of South Carolina, where FBI agents were seen today searching the home of Myrtle Beach pastor JohnPaul Miller, linked to an ongoing criminal investigation that has really gained national attention. Here's a look outside the Miller home in Myrtle Beach. Court-authorized law enforcement activity wrapped up about an hour ago. There were about 24 FBI agents in evidence response team uniforms at the home. And we're also told that they brought bagged items out of the home. Never a good sign. A crowd and protesters lined up outside the home to watch this all go down. And one group of women have been following the case, and they're demanding answers.
Waiting 6 months for something to be done, and hopefully justice will come faster and he'll be put in handcuffs and put in jail.
Now, back in April, 30-year-old Mica Miller died by an apparent suicide. Now, she was the wife of South Carolina pastor JohnPaul Miller, who she was separating from at the time of her death. The federal authorities joined the local investigation after a mysterious 911 call. Now, these are surveillance photos from Mica's last day alive, where she appears to purchase a firearm from a nearby pawn shop before police say she killed herself with the gun that she purchased at that pawn shop. Now, since her death, law enforcement have released the 911 call, security footage, and a timeline of events detailing the day she died. Here is a snippet of a chilling 911 call that Mica made with a suicidal message for her family.
I'm about to kill myself, and I just want my family to know where to find me.
Now, her husband, Pastor JohnPaul Miller, addressed his congregation publicly at Solid Rock Church after he allegedly found out about her death. Take a listen.
I got a call late last night. My wife has passed away. And yeah, it was self-induced, and it was up in North Carolina. And we're going to have a funeral for her next Sunday here at 3 p.m. And so it's all I can, I'm just kind of going on adrenaline right now. So y'all pray for me and my kids and everybody. And y'all knew that she wasn't well mentally, and that she needed her medicine that was hard to get to her. And so I'm sure there'll be more details to come, but just keep our family in your prayers.
Pastor Miller has not been charged in this case, but some claim that he was abusive toward her, and many are left skeptical that he may have somehow had a hand in her death. He has denied any involvement at all. Let's bring back in criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor Marie Petta. Marie, what do you make of this? They're in the house, they're bringing stuff out. As I said, never a good sign. They're still investigating this case. There's a lot of evidence as I go through this that suggests this was in fact a suicide. But what do you think they're looking for here?
They're looking for something that could inculpate him, somehow tie him to the suicide. I think this is very, very sad. And I don't understand though why when they executed the warrant, they had to say, come out right now, we have a warrant. Why not just knock on the door and say, we have a warrant? All of this grandstanding makes him look bad. And I just don't think that this is the way for law enforcement to execute a warrant against a person. It's not like you're going to some drug dealer's house or something like that. It was a lot. But I think, again, in this case, we have a lot to learn, because at the end of the day, he's saying, I heard what happened to my wife. There was acrimony between them, and they were in different states. But you know what? Telephones, video surveillance, if he has an alibi, I think there's so much that needs to come out. We can't say much, but the fact that they were separated and that phone call is very damning, because she says, I'm about to kill myself.
Yeah.
So it really helps him in that sense. Let's see the rest.
Yeah, and apparently he was at an athletic event. He had picked up a girlfriend at that time. He was on video with her in the car. So as far as him having a hand in it physically, I think that's clear not. But you're right. Easily find a computer with messages, because you can drive someone to suicide, and that is absolutely a crime. And here's the other thing.
But
I know you. Go ahead.
He picked up a girlfriend?
Yeah,
they were still married, right?
Yeah, they were. They were about to separate. They were going through a contentious divorce. They were going through a contentious divorce, so these things happen, and I agree with you, not a good look. But here's the deal. There's something else that's not a good look in this case, and it's something I know you know a little bit about, and that's domestic violence and abuse. There are allegations that there was abuse in this relationship, right? Now, we know the time of separation is a time that, you know, people are most, and women especially, are most at risk. Let's take a listen to the family attorney and what he has to say about the abuse in that family.
He claims that she was diagnosed with these mental illnesses and was on lithium. According to her, she didn't know she'd been diagnosed or what her medication was, because he always controlled the medication. He administered the medication. In fact, he has admitted that he would cut her pills up and give them to her if she refused to take the medication. Lithium, he has been diagnosed and admits it in a sermon. And if you look up lithium and the side effects of it, or if you take too much of it or you're over-medicated, you go into delirium. And that's what her demeanor reminded me of.
Right, so that gives us a little more insight into what might be going on here in this investigation. If he is telling her that she's got these problems, she's never been diagnosed, and he's giving her pills, perhaps to control her or for some other reason, then we're talking a very different case here.
We are, but these are allegations. Blood tests will show the lithium level in your body, because lithium is a prescribed medication and it has to be kept at certain levels so it works the way it's supposed to work as far as an antipsychotic type medication. So that we have to wait for. If he was giving her his lithium, it still would show up in her blood. The fact that he could be accused of putting lithium in her food or however he was giving it to her and she didn't know still tells me that there was something mentally unstable about her. And that doesn't mean that he murdered her. They need to show a lot more before we could jump to this conclusion.
Yeah, fair enough. I agree 100%.